Okay, let's have a look at Perfect by Ed Sheeran. And hopefully you're looking at Tab, which is short for tablature, which I send, and there's a lot of information on there. Almost too much, right? If you've never used one before. But if you're reading down, you see the title and the tuning. I'm never going to pick anything for you that has weird tuning. And then it says there's a capo, one of these things, like a clamp that goes on your guitar. It changes the key that you play in. And for this song, it's on the first fret. So that's going to help the song sound like it's in the right key. So you're not singing too high or too low. And the way you put it on, let me explain this long, I'm going to open it here. This long rubber part is the part that goes on the strings. This clamp goes on the back of the neck of the guitar, back here. That's why it's ugly. You don't want to look at that while you're playing. And this fancy stuff, the scroll or whatever, goes up at the top so that it does not interfere with your left hand when you're playing. And you put it slightly behind the fret. The fret is this metal line. The capo goes just behind fret 1. So this is not a fret over here. Fret 1 is this first metal line on the neck of the guitar. And it goes just behind it, not right on it, not too far back. You'll get buzzing and stuff. If you put the capo right on the fret, it'll give you a slightly muted sound. You don't want that either. Just behind it. Maybe make sure it's on just right, because if you're bending one of the strings, your guitar will sound like it's out of tune also. So there's your capo. This scrolly part goes up at the top, like I said, so it's not in the way of your hand. If it's down at the bottom, and you're trying to play certain chords, it's gonna bump into your hand, but if there's nothing down there, you're okay. Okay, so your chords. Here's your G chord. I talked, all right. String 5 fret 2, string 6 fret 3, string 5 fret 2, and string 1 fret 3. Now when you have a capo on, when you count frets, it's relative to the capo. Like fret 1 doesn't exist anymore. Now fret 1 is this. All right. So when you say string 5 fret 2, it's not this anymore. That's fret 1 now. Fret 2 is this now. So it's the capo, wherever that is, you're counting relative to the capo. Okay, so your G chord, you strum all 6 strings. E minor. Sometimes it's okay, it's good to play E minor. With these 2 fingers, sometimes better to play with these 2 fingers. Depends on what the next chord is and the chord you're coming from. So string 5 fret 2, string 4 fret 2, strum all 6. Remember, you want the very tips of your fingers to be on these strings, because you don't want to accidentally touch other strings, and so you hear that. That's not a good chord, right? That's the sound you're looking for. You want to hear, and you can test a chord 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure you can hear all 6 strings clearly, or however many strings you're supposed to be playing. Like in a C chord, you don't play string 6, so don't worry about that one. But see, string 5 fret 3, string 4 fret 2, string 2 fret 1, and you strum from the 5th string down. And the D chord, string 3 fret 2, string 2 fret 3, and string 1 fret 2, and you strum from the 4th string down. The fingers used are very important. You know, C is always going to be like this. D is always going to be like that. E minor, that one's can change, and a G can sometimes be this. Sometimes some people like to use their pinky. Some people even play it like this, with their pinky and their 3rd finger and their 2nd finger, and leave their 1st finger out altogether. It just depends on what chord you're coming from. So this song kind of has a triplet feel. This 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or a fast 3, you could call it that also. It's kind of like a waltz. It's a little bit of a dance. And so that's going to be your strum pattern. All the strums are going to be down with your right hand. Down, 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 down. That's it. Nothing fancy. That's why I picked this one. Okay, so let's just do a playthrough, and then I'll explain what we're doing here. starting with a G. And let me come back to that part in just a moment. So nice, easy intro and verse. The intro is just this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 6 down strums, 1, 2, 3, and he gets right into it. I found a love. So that's how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 times. Don't count to 12. Just count to 3, 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. E minor, same thing. C, same thing. D, and then do the same pattern over again. Do it on G, E minor, C, and D. And you can see that in the tablature. You see the chord symbols, and that's the intro in verse 1. That brings you right up to the pre-chorus. Okay. So when you're trying to figure out how to transition between chords, right? You got this G. Maybe you play G like this, like I at first showed you, because it's easier to get to E minor, right? So you got to think your first finger's already down there. Just move your second finger over. You got your E minor. C is a little bit trickier, but you can just put your third finger out there and move these other 2 guys down. Right here, E minor. You see, and it's not going to be easy at first. It's going to take time. You can just do things like this: G, E minor, G, E minor, G, E minor, and then E minor, C, E minor, C, E minor, C, to get those transitions down, right? And then C to D, C to D, C to D, C to D, and then D to G, D to G. So those kind of exercises will come in handy. The best thing is really just playing through the song, though, and getting used to the changes. But let's go back up to get into this pre-chorus so I can explain that. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time. Ooh, a little different there. Kiss me slow. Your heart is so lion, and in your eyes you're holding mine. Baby, I'm dancing in. And sorry to keep stopping the song, but I don't want you to have to explain the whole thing to y'all at once. That would be a lot. In the pre-chorus, you have the same pattern, just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 on G, then E minor, just 12 down strums just like before, C, 2, 3, 4. But then on the word time, where you have the G and the D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's split, right? Where it says, I will not give you up this time. On the word time, G, D, and then you, darling, just kiss me slow. You resume your pattern on 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and E minor. And same thing with the C and the D. And in your eyes, you're holding mine. Okay, let's check out the chorus. See how that goes. Holding mine, baby, I'm dancing in the dark, you between my arms, barefoot on the grass. All 6 strums here. Listening to our favorite song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ed Sheeran threw me a curveball there on that little passage without any lyrics. You're doing all 6 strums. The whole course, every single chord gets 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Except that last one on You Look Perfect Tonight, that last G, I think that's actually the beginning of that little passage there. It's like an interlude with no lyrics. It's just a list of chords: G, D, E minor, D, C, D. And then it's 3 strums per chord. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, except the last 2. The C and the D in that little interlude each get 6 strums. Verse 2 looks as if it's the same as verse 1. Yep. The pre-chorus looks as if it's the same as the other pre-chorus that we did. And you're going to find this a lot, that the patterns stay the same from section to section. Then you got a chorus. What is this interlude thing? Let's see if we can find that interlude thing. I'm trying to find it. Oh, pre-chorus. Here's the second to last chorus. All 6 strums. This should be the chorus here, yeah. Alright, so that interlude is just 6 strums for each chord, and then you're into the chorus. And then the outro is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on each chord, and then that G, I think they put it in parentheses because it actually belongs to the next section, so I don't know why they put it there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the last chord. So that little list of chords at the end is just like the one above. I called it an interlude, but it's not labeled as such. But you're going 3 strums on 3 on G, 3 on D, 3 on E minor, 3 on D, and then 6 on C, 6 on D, and 1 nice gentle strum on that final G chord. And there you have it. I know this is a long video, but I hope it's helpful. But please hit me with any questions anytime, and thanks a lot for watching.